Witnesses, you may step down from the stand now.
Oh.
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh. Oh.
Miss Sykes.
Yes, Prosecutor Luna?
It appears we have come to an end of the winding trail you set us upon.
Seems so.
We have managed to uncover a great deal of revelations, and with them some complicated feelings, I am sure.
Aww. Aww.
Much has been said now about what happened following this murder. And we have managed, I believe, to piece together a fuller picture of the actions many took these past few days. But this discovery, this confession, these revelations, what were they all for?
It was to prove that Sweetie Belle is innocent from killing?
In perhaps an equally tragically ironic sense, we have learned much about everything around the murder, but very little about the murder itself.
That's just how the story goes.
I must agree. For as cathartic as this confession was, has it led us to uncovering anything further about the true nature of Royal Order's murder?
I think
it can't
we
be
have
Sweetie
at least
Belle.
uncovered one thing.
Can't be Sweetie Belle.
You noticed
that
it as well, Athena?
Sweetie Belle could not have killed Royal Order.
Really?
Your Honor, what we just heard from Silver Spoon and Sweetie Belle doesn't just reveal to us their part in all of this. It also reveals a huge contradiction.
And just what would this huge contradiction
Sugar Stamp's confession!
Let me show you. Silver Spoon said that she had followed after Turning Page in Scootaloo, right? She went down the crossroads before she ended up at the statue. Now, we know that she went there before Royal Order's body ended up near the castle ruins. That tells us that she must have been chasing them around the same time that Sugar Stamp was flying over.
Oh, that's another condition. That's another
Sugar
one.
Stamp told us that when she was flying over the path, she saw two ponies heading towards each other. One was Zecora, and the other was Turning Page. But she never mentioned seeing Silver Spoon or any pony else on the path. How could she have missed her? But neither Zecora nor Turning Page.
Get biddity bop.
That is quite the contradiction, isn't it?
So Miss Sugar Stamp's confession contradicts Silver Spoon's.
Yes!
How do you explain that, Miss Sykes?
No, it was Sugar Stamp. You can...
I don't think so, no. Too many of her events match up with our evidence. That leaves us with Sugar Stamp's confession. It's far more likely she's the one lying about who she saw.
Yes!
We also know, from what Private Eye confessed to, that the murder weapon was fabricated too. Her entire confession and testimony must be false.
Furthermore, the fact that Private Eye went out of his way to fabricate such evidence tells us he did so in order to support her entire confession.
Her entire confession? You mean not just the murder, but also...
Right, Your Honor. Her moving the body is also a fabrication.
Oh.
In other words, everything that Sugar Stamp allegedly confessed to,
it's all false.
Murdering Royal Order at the clearing,
it's
moving
all
his
the
body,
Matrix,
and framing Turning Page in Scootaloo, is nothing but a carefully crafted lie. Objection!
So you return to that claim yet again, Miss Sykes.
Well, it's true.
I am not sure that Sugar Stamp and Private Eye were in cahoots over this. But even if I were convinced, surely even you can see how what you've proposed puts us all in a difficult situation.
Difficult? How so, Prosecutor Luna?
Your Honor, if the defense is right, that the body at the clearing was neither moved nor killed by Sugar Stamp, then what actually did happen? For regardless of what did happen, one thing remains certain. The body was still moved.
Yes.
You know what I've just realized? Fair Devotion is in the thumbnail of this episode. Now, going by all facts and logic that we know about this series, usually when there's a thumbnail of a character, that character shows up at least, has a pretty prominent role in the story here, and actually shows up in the episode. She has not shown up yet. Oh no.
Yes, indeed. I I would like to know what the defense thinks.
I think this is all stupid, and frankly, you should all go to jail.
Okay, Athena. Everything's
I'm kidding.
finally come to this point. I need to take a moment and think this through one step at a time.
One step at a time, and you'll
then
find
we have no
your
explanation
way.
for how the body was moved. But maybe I need to change my thinking here. Instead of focusing on how to explain the body being moved, maybe I should focus on why the body needed to be moved in the first place.
Ooh, whoa, mute. Whoa! Whoa, whoa, what's going
Stamp
on?
and Private Eye were working together to falsify the events that happened at the clearing.
Dude, you just have an
Whatever they
epiphany,
produced
oh my
cannot be
god.
trusted.
She's
Taking that
ascending.
into consideration, what do we have that we know can be trusted definitively? What can tell us what happened in that clearing?
Whoa. Yo. Yo, this is crazy. This goes hard.
Of course! Sonata found blood at the clearing. Private was in court during the blood's discovery, so there's no way he could have faked a blood test for it. That means that this really is Royal Order's blood. But what does that tell us? All we could really say is that a big pool of his blood was there at the scene. Is there anything that could point to where it came from?
Time travel spell?
That's right. The blood rings belong to Royal Order too. They didn't end up there when he died, so some pony else had to have splashed his blood. And when they did so, they must have splashed the blood in the direction of the clearing.
I'm kind of
Yet
jamming out right
somehow,
now.
no one reported this blood being found on the ground. How could the blood have gotten only onto the trees and formed in such a weird way? What if...
The blood was moved by levitation. By a unicorn.
That's
Or
it.
an alicorn.
If the
No, I'm
blood
kidding.
was moved from one place to another using unicorn levitation, then it would likely form the rings around the trees. Then that suggests that the blood found at the clearing came from the blood at the statue, which would mean there was never a murder at the clearing to begin with. Only at the statue. But that means
There was no There was no
no clone? So that means this entire time we've been chasing after a ruse?
No freaking way. Then why was the... Wait, then why was...
This is somehow even more insane than the clone theory itself.
Oh my god.
I hate having to backpedal on things like this. But it's the only thing that can explain everything we've uncovered. Even so, our entire position was built on that theory. Now I know it's wrong. But who could have set this whole thing in motion?
Oh my...
Why?
Athena? You look like you're about to throw up.
I'm about to throw up, man.
Twilight, I just figured something out.
Great. Does it help us?
I think so, but it also doesn't?
Huh?
Miss Sykes, I believe we've waited long enough.
That's true.
Prosecutor Luna has asked for an explanation, and the court would very much appreciate hearing it.
I don't know how to feel about this. I think I'm on the right track here, but...
Athena,
Go for it,
what
man.
you figured out, do you think it'll help us find the truth?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, but it's...
Then we have to tell the court, no matter what.
No matter
Even
what,
if it might hurt us
I'm
now.
gonna be right
If it
by
takes
your
even
side
one
no
step
matter
closer-
what. Wait a minute. Hold on. I have to play that song now. Should I just jam out for like 2 minutes and 11 minutes to a song? Should I just do that? Okay, listen. I might just jam out to this song for 2 minutes and 11 seconds. So, yeah, skip if you don't want to, see that, but I'm just gonna jam out for 2 minutes and 11 seconds, on this recording, so,
In the light of the day, in the dark of the night, when you're ready to go, when you're tired from the fight, when you're losing your mind, let me give you a thought.
Bum, 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 bum. I'm gonna be right by your side no matter what.
In the dark of the night.
In the dark of the night.
In the light of the
day.
In the light of the day.
When
This
you rise
song's so
and shine.
When you rise and shine.
When you're hitting the hay,
When you're hitting the hay.
I'll be hanging around.
I'm hanging around.
If you like it or not.
If you like it or not.
I'm gonna be right by your side no matter what. You guys remember Steven Universe, the movie? No matter how you feel about it, you gotta admit there's some nostalgia to this show. No matter what,
No matter what.
no matter what, no matter what,
No matter what.
I'm gonna be
I'm gonna be
right by your side.
Be right by your side no
No matter what. Ba-do-ba-do-boo. Ba-do-ba-do-doo. Ba-do-ba-do-doo.
in the dark of the night. In the light of the day. When your eyes will shine.
When hitting the hay,
Just remember this song.
How's it going? Forgot?
I'm gonna be right by your side no matter what.
Through whoever you've been.
Through whoever you've been.
Through whoever you'll be.
Through whoever you'll be.
Through whatever you lose.
Through whatever you lose.
You will always have
You will always have
at the end of
me.
your road.
At the end of your road.
I'll be holding you tight.
I'll be holding you tight.
I'm gonna be right by your
no
side.
matter what.
Be right by your side. Be right by your side. Be right by your side no matter what. God, that song is such a jammer, man. Alright, but back to the actual video.
Closer. We have to take that leap.
I know I've been asking this a lot, Twilight, but
I love
Are you with
doing
me?
these things.
Always. And to the very end.
Miss Sykes, I sense that whatever it is you are about to tell the court is causing you some amount of discomfort. Nonetheless, you cannot relent. You've demonstrated a tremendous level of both faith and ingenuity while defending your clients. What you need now is resolve. The necessary
it.
resolve to stand tall
Do it.
and go forward with your beliefs.
Do
And
it!
prove to me that I was not mistaken in mine about trusting you. Is this something you can muster?
yes, I think so. So, first, let me ask you something. You still believe that there were 2 royal orders that night, correct?
Yes. The 2 bloodstains found at the clearing and the statue prove that 2 royal orders were in the Everfree Forest.
They do. If we take those stains at face value.
What are you talking about?
Means we're all
Here's the thing,
stupid.
Prosecutor Luna. Ever since the previous trial, we all believed that clones were involved. Royal Order went to the mirror pool in order to clone himself.
Yes, that was your reasoning. Defense, where are you going with this?
But now, when we take into account at least one of those areas where the blood was found was part of the phony confession, our initial theory gets placed under a new light.
We're all stupid.
Athena, you don't mean...
Here goes. Prosecutor Luna, Your Honor, Twilight,
Me?
I believe that despite everything we've heard, despite everything we've supposedly uncovered, the fact
There
of
was-
the matter is that this clone
Was never real. Quadruple slam.
existed in the first place.
What? You be still.
Pixie! Have you taken leave of your senses? The existence and subsequent involvement of a clone was your postulation to begin with!
Indeed, Miss Sykes! How is it
Indeed.
that now of all times you decide to abandon that theory altogether?
No! Athena, you can't seriously think... I mean, when I considered all of the possibilities, I couldn't have anticipated this!
Me neither. But please, just hear me out. I know that was what we were arguing before, but I just now realized our line of thinking was completely wrong.
Just moving my 3 water bottles.
You provided a perfectly sound explanation as to how clones, as absurd as the idea initially was, could be involved with the murder.
That's true.
That's just it. I think the explanation was too perfect.
Explain,
What?
Defense.
Wait,
Here's what I
what?
think. When Twilight and I proposed the clone theory, Private Eye had been listening and told Sugar Stamp about it after the trial. They must have used that idea to create this false narrative about a clone.
You mean they didn't plan this from the start?
I don't think so. No one thought of clones until we brought it up. And then, afterwards, everything began lining up with Sugar Stamp's confession.
But why would they do this? Why would they go so far just to create the illusion of there being clones involved?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Then I must reject this madness outright.
No.
such
You
speculation
rejected
is
the
not
clones.
permitted in this court.
Let's not
I
reject
thought I
there
could rely
not
on
being
you to
clones.
abide by that at least. You need proof, and I demand you show it to us immediately.
Proof that there were no clones. How can I show that?
This is what you meant before, when you said this could both help and not help us?
Well, of course. Oh
Yeah.
no, my phone's about to die. Hold on a second. We must appease the charging masters up in the skies. We must do the ritual. Alright, we're okay now. Everything's fine. We have appeased the gods.
I know it throws everything we've been arguing out the window, Twilight, but
No, I see the logic in it. Admittedly, it's
There are no
a bit
flaws to my
simplistic in
logic.
scope, but they do say that sometimes the simplest answer is the right one. In which case, I think this might actually be the truth.
you do? But then, how do we prove it?
Let me think.
But the power of
So
friendship.
the clone story was fabricated entirely, correct?
That's right.
Well, if the clones themselves weren't real, then something else about them must not be real too. Like the circumstances around their creation, maybe.
Yeah, like
The
exactly.
circumstances.
But we'd have to somehow show those circumstances aren't real either. But short of time traveling back to the moment the clones were supposedly created, which incidentally is now impossible to do.
You guys can time
I know
travel.
how to show that.
You do?
Yep.
Time travel?
Thanks, Twilight.
Are we time traveling now?
Okay.
Are we back to
You
the
want
future?
proof, Prosecutor Luna? You got it. Take that.
A photo of the mirror pool's entrance? How is this proof?
Look closer. On the boulder itself, you can see a particular species of flower
Day
partly growing.
bloomers.
These are day bloomers.
I don't get it.
True to their name, they only bloom during the day. But that's not all. If you look at the vines on the flowers themselves, you can see that they've been cut. If Royal Order had moved the boulder on the night of the murder in order to access the mirror pool, then the flowers shouldn't have blossomed in the following days. Yet, when my friends and I arrived at the scene, they were all blooming. This could only mean that some pony moved that rock in the middle of the day. Perhaps even recently. Possibly right after the previous trial and after we presented our clone theory.
God dang, man. You
That
guys are
certainly
nuts.
makes an alarming amount of sense.
But who could have moved the boulder then?
Private Eye?
There was only one
Private
pony
Eye.
who'd be able to do that. Private Eye.
Private Eye? How?
Well, you see,
When we were investigating the
he
mirror pool
has some
yesterday,
strength.
Private Eye let it slip that he was the first of his team to come across the boulder.
When I first found the cave, it was already open like this.
Yeah.
Because of that, he'd be able to make it look like the boulder had already been moved by Royal Order. Objection!
This doesn't prove there were no clones, though.
Actually, it does.
Because of how you and Miss Sykes determined definitely that there was a clone that night. The Royal Order whose body was found near the castle ruins died instantly from a wound to the head. But as we learned yesterday, Scootaloo crashed into another Royal Order while fleeing the forest. A Royal Order who happened, as she testified, to still be breathing. How else can you
Well-
explain one body breathing and one body not breathing if not by admitting the existence of a clone?
Can you guys just admit that you were wrong? That maybe he didn't immediately die from a stab wound in the head? Possibility.
The body found in the ruins doesn't bear any signs of a scooter crashing into it. Just a large bruise on the side of the abdomen.
But also
Once
the
again,
thing.
how else can you explain this absence of obvious, distinct bruising if not by admitting the existence of a clone? It doesn't make any sense.
You're right. It doesn't make any sense.
What? You admit it?
What we'd established before proved clones were involved. And our strongest evidence was Scootaloo hearing breathing from the body she crashed into. But if clones were not involved, then what Scootaloo thought she heard must have been wrong.
You don't mean to
No.
That the breathing Scootaloo thought she heard coming from Royal Order didn't come from him. Instead, it must have come from some pony else.
No.
But Miss Scootaloo was so certain she heard it coming directly from Royal Order.
Then logically, it must have come from some pony who was right up against the body itself.
Objection! That
What?
claim is ridiculous! How on Equestria could Scootaloo have missed seeing some pony behind the body?
Scared? Yeah, it was
was
quite
quite dark.
Fear
Even
being
so,
jumbled
if
up.
the moon was bright enough that Scootaloo could see she crashed into Royal Order, then she would have seen some pony behind him.
That's also true.
There is no feasible way for any pony to hide that way, and thus no way for her to have heard any pony but Royal Order breathing. Nothing short of a child could have even the slightest chance.
Child? No, that's ridiculous. There wasn't any pony like that who would have had a chance to...
No freaking way.
Oh no.
Oh, what did you realize?
Athena?
Oh, I'm scared now.
This time.
I'm scared now. I'm
Maybe
scared.
I'm wrong. I've gotta be.
Oh, jeez.
But all my instincts are telling me...
Look at Widget.
screaming at me.
Oh, no. What's going on? What's going on?
Miss
What's going on?
Sykes?
What's going on? What's going on?
Do you need me to call a recess? You appear
Oh,
ill.
you know it's bad when the tone completely
You?
changes.
I mean, I'm not. But Prosecutor Luna?
What is it, Miss Sykes?
I'm about the.
Before I answer your rebuttal, I want to confirm two more things. By asking Silver Spoon and Sweetie Belle to retake the stand.
Oh, shoot.
Miss Sykes, I'm not sure what you're planning now, but
Oh,
well.
shoot.
the prosecution won't object to this.
Oh, shoot.
Your Honor?
Yes, quite right.
I don't
Court
like this
accepts
music.
this proposal.
I don't like this music. I don't like this music. I don't like this music.
Athena?
Silver Spoon? When you were chasing after Scootaloo and Turning Page, you were headed towards the crossroads, right?
Yeah, that was before I found Sweetie Belle.
Previously, Zecora testified that she was headed towards the castle. She would have been on the same road as you were. Before you found Sweetie Belle, did you ever run into Zecora?
Run into? No, actually, I just saw her coming and hid.
You
Okay.
hid?
Yeah, I just jumped away into the forest so that she wouldn't see me. What? But that must mean you were the shadowy figure Zecora saw leave.
Oh!
That can't be right. Turning Page
Wait.
said he was the one whom Zecora saw.
But Zecora never got a good look at that figure. All she could tell was that it was a child.
Oh my
And think about
god.
what we figured out just now, too. About Sugar Stamp's story.
She couldn't have missed seeing Silver Spoon if she saw both Zecora and Turning Page. But that was a lie, wasn't it? Just like the rest of her confession.
Right.
Then
But
where
that
was
leaves
Turning
us with a missing
Page?
bit of information.
Where was Turning
Sugar
Page?
Stamp's story initially told us where Turning Page was after the blackmail deal went bad. But now that it's been shown to be a lie, and that neither Silver Spoon nor Zecora saw him, the question becomes,
Oh my god.
where did Turning Page actually go?
No, you're not
Indeed.
suggesting.
His
don't
disappearance cannot be
mean-
accounted for.
You don't mean! You don't mean!
Huh? Miss Sykes?
No, 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 no. No, 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 no.
Sweetie Belle.
Huh? What is it, Athena?
That tip you sent. We've established you sent it and how. But there's still something left unanswered. Why turning page? You could have implicated Diamond Tiara or even Silver Spoon, since you knew they'd been blackmailing you and your friends. But why specifically him?
It's because
I'm gonna die.
of what I overheard when I was hiding behind the statue before I passed out.
Oh my.
What did you hear? Exactly what I wrote on the anonymous tip, Princess Twilight. What you wrote?
No.
I thought if I wrote that, it would be enough to save Scootaloo. Even though it'd make her really, really sad.
Oh my god.
Thank you. Both of you.
How? How? No!
And there it is. The last detail I needed. The last detail I actually wanted.
So you've confirmed those two things you were looking for, Miss Sykes. But what now?
We cry. Oh!
Can I do this?
You have to do it. You have to rip the band-aid
I
off.
don't know if I can. Or if I even want to. I don't think I've ever wanted to be proven more wrong in my entire life. And yet, all the pieces of this ugly, frustrating, terrible puzzle have finally come together to form the complete, tragic picture. All I have to do is put it together. But if I do that, some pony's innocence would be destroyed. And what's more important than protecting that?
There is one thing even more important than the trial's outcome. The truth.
You're right, boss. I have to do this. Prosecutor Luna, Your Honor, Twilight.
Freaking heck.
What is it, Miss Sykes?
Thanks to what we've just heard, I figured it out. The answer to the question that's been at the center of everything.
You mean the question of who killed Royal Order?
Sadly, yes.
Ooh. There's only one pony who could have, and that's the son of the victim.
Oh! How? 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 Actually, how?
Sykes, what in a question are you doing?
How?
Page is
How?
innocent. You
How?
proved so in that previous
How?
trial.
How?
You can't be serious.
How?
Why would you even think that?
How? What are you doing back
As much
here?
as I don't want to believe it, it's the only explanation left. And the one that clears up these last and final contradictions.
No!
These contradictions? You mean the breathing and lack of bruising?
Yes, Your Honor. That breathing could not have come from the victim himself, but instead, some pony sitting right up against him. As Prosecutor Luna pointed out, they'd have to be small as a
Oh
child.
my god.
No.
Oh my god!
There were 5 children in the forest. 4 of them, Diamond Tiara, Silver Spoon, Scootaloo, and Sweetie Belle, have all been accounted for. But, as we established, the 5th, Turning Page, somehow vanished. He could only have appeared to do so if he was hidden in plain sight.
I'm like,
By
oh!
hiding next to the body of Royal Order that lay in the middle of the crossroads. Therefore,
I'm like,
the breathing that Scootaloo heard had to come from him.
I'm like,
That's right.
I'm kind of
That
shaken
explains
up,
it.
man.
Then what of the lack of bruises on Royal Order?
All this time, we thought that Scootaloo had crashed into him.
He was
But
pushed.
now that we know Turning Page was there too, we can perfectly understand why Royal Order suffered no bruises from the scooter. It's because Scootaloo instead crashed into Turning Page himself.
Objection! That is a completely impossible claim, defense. Turning Page showed no signs of injury during or after the event.
Objection! That's because we haven't searched him yet. Your
That's
Honor,
true.
The defense formally requests that Turning be searched for signs of bruising.
Oh no.
The prosecution refuses
You
to
have
allow
to.
this.
You have to,
It's all right,
Luna.
Princess Luna. If Miss Sykes wants me to be searched, then I'll allow it.
You would do.
What?
God.
Turning Page, no!
Oh my god, dude.
Don't you see what this means for you?
That's enough, Prosecutor Luna!
Oh my god.
Bailiff, search the young colt immediately for any signs of bruising. Let us see the truth once and for all.
Double sweep, double. Oh my. I.
Is that...
Bruise on the right side.
On the right side.
This cannot be!
Oh my god. What the frick, Nugget?
Your Honor, this proves that Turning Page is the one responsible for the death of...
Objection!
Diva!
Fair devotion?
That's enough, Miss Sykes. I won't have you disparage my son anymore. Especially not for a crime he didn't commit.
What do you
Gonna
mean?
come home.
The bruise tells us.
It tells us, yes, he got them from when Scootaloo crashed into him. But that's all. It says nothing about his culpability, despite what you have been arguing.
But respectfully, Miss Devotion, Turning Page, having submitted himself for examination, has indicated his guilt.
I need breathe.
That is only because his father raised him to take responsibility, even for the things he has no control over. Your Honor, my son didn't kill my husband. I did.
You... Order in the court!
I can't.
Miss Devotion! You confess to murdering your husband?
You just testified earlier that you didn't even find Royal Order until it was too late.
And I still stand by the majority of my testimony. But I must make one additional statement.
One additional statement?
Sugar Stamp said that she saw Sweetie Belle attack Royal Order, but that was a lie. In actuality, the pony who attacked him, leading to him being impaled
It
at
was
the
you!
statue's base,
It was you.
was me.
It was.
That's not true. She's only doing this to protect her son.
I see. Well, as this runs counter to your argument, what do you think, Miss Sykes?
Wait, did she actually
Your
though?
Honor, the defense opposes accepting this new confession.
What?
On what grounds?
I don't
On
know.
the grounds that it muddles everything. We can't just take this at face value. If we want to reach a satisfying conclusion to this whole case, we need to hear one final testimony from
Oh,
Miss
this is gonna be the
Devotion.
next episode, isn't it?
Athena's right, Your Honor. There's no way to determine if we can trust this confession until we hear exactly what Fair Devotion did that night.
Oh
Prosecutor
God,
Luna.
please.
Do you have any objections?
I'm Luna right now.
Please, Prosecutor Luna.
No. Your Honor, I do not. The prosecution would also like to hear this final testimony from this final witness.
For the final
Time.
Very well. The court accepts the proposal. Miss Devotion, you will testify as to what happened between you and Royal Order on the night of his murder. Is that understood?
How much time is there left? No!
Very well, Your
I'm
Honor.
gonna do it to me.
This is it. With this, we'll finally be able to put an end to this ordeal.
They're ending the
The truth
episode
is out in the
here.
open now, And all that's left to shield it is one final testimony from Miss Devotion.
Why would you do this? Why would you? Oh my god, the next episode is the final episode. Oh my god, I think I'm gonna cheese, man. Somebody help me, somebody. I can't, man. Through the darkness and the pain. I need to calm down, man. I need this music right now, man. I'm coping right now. I'm coping. Time flies forward. Oh. Oh. There's no after credits again. Well, there you have it. I've caught up. I've caught up. That. I don't feel like I should speak. Like, it speaks for itself. I don't feel like I should speak. I'm gonna say one thing. One final thing. This whole thing is just a masterpiece. God damn.